Hello, my friends, I'm back. So apparently the sound connection wasn't good. I'm trying it again. And I'm very happy to be speaking to all of you through the Chopra Global channel right now. The Chopra Global channel also includes the Chopra app. And I am very happy to talk to you right now. And I'm hoping that Alicia Keys will be joining us in a few moments. Now, some people are saying still no sound. Please let me know if you can hear the sound. And I am very keen to talk to you, but now I'm getting the feedback that the sound is good. Okay, so today I was going to speak to you through the Chopra Global channel, which you're on right now, about the Divine Feminine, the 21-day meditation that we have right now that is going on the Divine Feminine with Alicia Keys as our co-host. And I was mentioning that I've known Alicia for a long time. In fact, I conducted the wedding ceremony, and it was a great event in Europe, and we've been friends for a long time. Alicia is a very talented artist, as you know, but you may or may not know that she's also the perfect embodiment of the Divine Feminine, represents everything that we would associate with the Divine Feminine. Beauty, intuition, affection, nurturing, tenderness, transformation, healing. So it's a great privilege right now for me just to have her reach her audience and my audience with this Instagram post. Just there she is, Alicia.
Yay! Thank you for your beautiful words. I appreciate them so much. I was listening to you because I love to hear you speak so much. So I was just listening to all your great words. How are you today?
I'm good, and I was sharing with everyone how long we've known each other, that I was at your wedding, and then, and so much has transpired since then. Your amazing career has always been amazing. At that time, by the way, I was watching CNN, and you were doing something at that time as well, which was huge, I remember.
Wow.
And now we're talking about the Divine Feminine. And I was
Yes.
just going to give a little history of my interest, and that was, we associate masculine energy with, at least culturally, we associate masculine energy with conquest, with predation, domination, hunter-gatherers, strength, but a different kind of strength, muscular strength and power
Right.
over others. Whereas the Divine Feminine, which started to emerge after the hunter-gatherer age, when, the age of agriculture is the first time that matriarchal societies appeared in Africa, in India, many indigenous peoples all over the world. And then, unfortunately, 500 years ago, when the scientific revolution took over, again, we went back to this very hard, predatory impulse. And now we need to invite the Divine Feminine back if we want to evolve. Otherwise, we're headed in the direction of, I think, extinction. If we continue what we're doing right now,
Yeah. No, I
climate
agree.
change, war, terrorism, climate change, extinction of species, and everything else that's happening in the world right now. This is the legacy of the hunter-gatherers, and we need to move on. And so I'm so grateful that you are leading this, and that you have given your name and your reach, so we can actually work together for a more peaceful, just, sustainable, healthier, and joyful world. So,
Well,
Alicia.
this is so good. And thank you to everybody tuning in right now because, listen, everywhere I go, everyone's telling me, thank you for the meditation. I'm doing the meditation. I'm loving the meditation. And so, first, big love to everybody who's tuning in to what you have to say, beautiful Deepak, and to your leadership and just the sharing of what's happening in the world and this idea of. So first, I just want to give big love to everybody tuning in. If you have done the Divine Feminine meditation, please drop it in the chat. If you are thinking about doing it, drop it in the chat. If you have any questions about how to do it, drop it in the chat, or any questions about what you've been experiencing during it, because we'd love to answer some questions too. That's really, really fun. I've been loving this process too. Obviously, I love our friendship, and every time I talk to you, there's just these ultimate jewels that continue to be like dropped on all of us, which is why I love the Divine Feminine. Jessica said that she finished all 22. Yes. Konia said she started it. There's a lot of people that are definitely in the mix there. But I think that it's been really interesting thinking about this rebalance. And I think I saw somebody say that obviously, Black women ruled tens and hundreds of thousands of years ago. And so to your point, I think there was always, in our ancient civilizations and our ancient cultures, there was a reverence for the feminine. There was
Absolutely.
a real respect and reverence for the feminine. And that's exactly what we're saying, which is that this idea that the feminine and masculine are inside of all of us, and how we can all think about how we can be more balanced with more feminine, with revering the divine feminine within all of us and giving that the right respect. So I think that that's, to your point, exactly a lot of the cause of the imbalance. Some people have said, this is a question I got. Now I'm just going to start throwing out some interesting questions. And if you guys have any interesting, tough questions, someone said to me, what about the divine masculine? And I was interested in what you thought about this idea of coming in contact with this concept of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Does it mean if we say divine feminine that there's not a divine masculine? Is there also a divine masculine? Is there only masculine and feminine? Is there something to looking at the masculine in this idea of divinity? Or do we already do that and that's kind of what's throwing it off? Talk to me about what you think about this idea about also being in balance with the divine masculine. What do you think about that?
Okay, I'll tell you exactly what I think about that, Alicia, but I was going to share something with you privately. I was going to share something with you privately, but now I'm going to share something that I was going to share with you publicly.
Privately, okay. Bring it to us.
So 3 days ago, I interviewed Oprah on my podcast for Audible. Yes. And she was very gracious. She was, as usual, she champions everybody. And her secret to life, she said to me a long time ago, and I want to share this with everyone. When she was 19, she was freelancing as a reporter in Chicago. And she was asked to interview somebody who was on death row. He was going to be executed 48 hours. So she went to interview this person, and she asked this person, lots of questions. And at the end of the conversation, this person said to her, "So how did I do? So how did I do?" And she said, it struck me that he was going to die in 48 hours, but all he wanted was validation on how he did in the interview. Then she said, after that, she's interviewed everyone, including, of course, me, but, big people like George Bush Sr., George Bush Jr., Bill Clinton, you name it.
Listen, you're big too, brother.
No, but she said, at the end of it, everybody asked, how did I do? So all I had to do is validate their story. And that's my mission now, to validate what other people are thinking deep in themselves. And that is my mission right now. And then, you know what she said after that? She said, "You got my girl, Alicia." Said, "You got my girl, Alicia." So I'm so happy that she's doing this 21-day meditation. So, just want to share with everyone, you and I also have the blessings of a great human being that I've known now for almost 30 years.
Wow.
I wanted the world to know that Alicia Keys is now taking over the Divine Feminine for the next generation.
Wow.
We are kind of old hats now. So now answering your question about the Divine Masculine. Here's how it is regarded in traditional wisdom traditions. And, you know, although I'm very familiar with the African wisdom traditions and the Eastern and the Western, there is a common theme, okay, about the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine. So in the Eastern wisdom traditions, like in Buddhism and even in aspects of Gnostic Christianity, the Gnostic Gospels, the Gospels of Thomas. By the way, if you've ever seen paintings of the Vatican, where Thomas had the Last Supper, he's the only one who's not white. Okay, Thomas is, and he's often referred to as doubting Thomas, because he always challenged Jesus Christ. And many people actually think that Thomas, we don't know whether he's African, Indian, whatever, but he was definitely not white. And he was also always challenging Jesus. And so many people say maybe Thomas was actually Jesus's teacher. But now let's go to the traditions where this is represented as both divine masculine and feminine. So the word for the divine masculine in these Eastern traditions, even in the Gnostic Gospels, as I interpret them, the word for the divine masculine is pure consciousness, which means infinite possibilities. Infinite possibilities, pure consciousness. But in order to manifest that pure consciousness into this world of space-time, causality, human beings, stars, trees, everything, in order for that divine masculine to manifest as the universe, it needs the divine feminine. And the divine feminine is referred to as Shakti, literally Shakti, which means power.
Shakti. I love Shakti.
And Shakti is self-power instead of agency power. Agency power comes from, you know, you're the president of the country, you're the head of the corporation, you're a billionaire, whatever. But agency power lasts only as long as the agency is there. Then it's gone. So if we want real power, then we need Shakti. And Shakti starts with joy, not with happiness. Happiness is always for a reason. But Shakti says, I am full and enough in myself, and my nature is joy. That is called Ananda Shakti, Ananda, bliss. Then the second Shakti that comes from there is the Shakti of intentionality, the power of intention organized around joy. So that's called Kriya Shakti, intention Shakti, which leads to Ichha Shakti, which is the spontaneous fulfillment of desire, which also leads to what is called Gyan Shakti, which is the knowledge that the divine masculine cannot do anything unless the divine feminine activates that as Shakti. Now you said, is it only masculine? Is it only feminine? Is it LGBT? Is it transgender? It's all of the above, because this combination of the masculine and feminine can appear in infinite forms. In fact, if you look at some of the iconography of ancient wisdom traditions, the divine is always represented as both masculine and feminine. You know, one of my friends long time ago was Michael Jackson. And when I met him at his ranch many, many years ago, the first thing he showed me is iconography of deities that were both masculine and feminine. And I got it then that, you know, we artificially divide ourselves as these labels and these genders. In fact, we are all of the above.
This is powerful. Now, this is powerful. This genderlessness, this labellessness is really something I think that I pulled from our meditation and from thinking about, you know, what it all really means. I mean, it really, I think we start to conform so much to so many constrictions and boxes because of these labels that are placed upon us in so many ways, that I love this idea that, you know, it all goes together, and that's really the point. And I do love, one of the things you said to me is that, you know, we all come from a mother, and so that connection to the feminine energy, that is so powerful and does deserve so much uplifting, but it's genderless. Like this, we say feminine and we automatically put a certain gender on it, and it's actually genderless. And so I think that's just like the masculine is actually genderless. And to your point, that's why everything, however we identify, is actually within all of us. And so getting out of this mind state, which is very an oppressive mind state, that we have to fit in these boxes and in these labels, is completely liberating. And I think that's one of the things that I feel so strongly with listening to the 21-day meditation on the divine feminine. It actually breaks it down in those degrees, and that we are that expansive, that we are that undefinable, you know, that we can create everything, and we have everything within us to create. And so this is powerful. I mean, that's cool that you answered that. Thank you, because I thought that was just such an interesting question that came to me from somebody, and I was like, you know what, this is a good conversation. Point is, let's get into the divinity within us all, because we have this higher capacity that we all can reach, and there's nothing stopping us, literally.
And when we're talking about feminine, masculine, we're just talking about qualities of awareness. That's all we're talking about. And awareness is infinite, infinite. So it includes every quality. And sometimes we, with our limited understanding, say this is sacred, this is profane, this is a sinner, this is a saint. But actually, we are all of the above. You know, they say the saint has a past and the sinner has a future, so just let it be. You know, just let it be.
Did you hear? No, he did it again. Did you hear? He said the saint has a past and the sinner has a future, so just let it be. No, that is so, because it's judgment. This is what we do. We judge everything and everyone, and mostly we judge ourselves, like in this harsh way. And so I love that. Like, just let it be. Just let everybody grow. Let us to continue to learn. Let us continue to find our path. And that's the most important thing, you know, is just continuing to find who you are and who you want to be, who you're meant to be, who you're discovering. So that's interesting. I'm looking for questions on here. Everybody's saying that I might be distracted by the comments. I'm not. I'm tuned in, and I actually want to know if there's anything that people are wondering. Some people have said that they find their mind so distracting when meditating or when doing this meditation. It's 21-day meditation, which, by the way, it's the last day that y'all can sign up for free. So if you haven't signed up yet, make sure that you jump on, because first of all, the Chopra app is amazing. I'm on it all the time. I'm listening to the meditation myself. There's retreats, and there's information, and there's things for kids, and there's stories, and there's so many things that you can really get into with it. So make sure you definitely sign up today. So if someone's meditating and you hear all these thoughts in your head, which, right, everything's in our mind, all this judgment, all this limitation that's been placed on us, what do you do? I've been told to just keep going. I've been told to just, like, let it, observe it and then let it pass. What do you do? Because I'm sure things come in your head too. And what do you do with those thoughts that are in your head?
So, over the years, it's been a process. Over the years, I've realized that every judgment I have about the other is actually a projection of my judgments about myself. So anytime you're defensive before you're attacked, anytime you seek to give explanation without being asked, anytime you label, anytime you use verbal formulas, anytime you stereotype based on race or religion or economics or privilege, you're actually judging yourself, not the other person. And as long as you're aware of that, then slowly You stop labels. You stop labels and let it be. Because when you let it be, you realize that there is some truth in every judgment, but there is also a lot of untruth in every judgment. So, the Buddha said one of the eightfold paths to enlightenment is right perspective. And what he said, right perspective is either no perspective or all perspectives. Now, that is brilliant because once you understand, you know, once you understand that, they say, everybody has a story and they're all valid or they're all equally unvalid. So once again, let it be. It's the famous song of the Beatles, let it be. Mother
He
Mary
just
comes to
said
me.
there's
And Mother
either,
Mary is the divine feminine.
listen, the Beatles were dropping all that information
Yeah,
and learning and open to learning so much. He just said the best perspective is either no perspective or all perspectives, not this
that's
in
right.
between stuff. This is crazy. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Somebody asked, how do they get to the app? You can download it on your app store, Chopra. You just go to Chopra. You see that's where Deepak is calling in from. So Chopra. Get it on the app store. Download it right to your phone. Get right into it. It's so beautiful. A couple of other people asked me about the songs in A minor letters. I just celebrated the 20th anniversary of my first album, Songs in A Minor, Deepak, and the love and the letters and the memories is so good. And so to everybody who did that and spread love and who's gotten the deluxe album for our AK20 celebration is definitely amazing. Somebody said, I find it's not about changing ourselves. It's about resting into ourselves.
How beautiful. So that is what liberation is. Liberation is not of a person. Liberation is from a person. Do I make myself clear? The moment I liberate myself from
Mm-hmm.
my self-importance, I stop
Mm-hmm.
it. I stop canceling other people's stories. Okay, we are now living in what we call the cancel culture, right? Cancel so and so, cancel. But the moment I rest in my true being and observe that which I call Deepak is a changing story anyway, why defend it and why attack other people's stories? That's
Oh
the
my gosh,
source.
because
That's where creativity comes from. When you accept all stories and you realize that fundamental reality is ambiguous, it's contradictory, it's full of paradox. And if it weren't, we'll all be algorithms.
oh my gosh, no, that's really cool because I think that's so hard for us. We feel like we're supposed to be something, right? I'm supposed to be a singer. I'm supposed to be a writer. I'm supposed to be successful. I'm supposed to be a doctor. I'm supposed to be, a graduate from school. I'm supposed to be all these things. And I guess what the point is that you can do those things. You can, and you should, You should do them. You should experience them. You should achieve your dreams. You should dream things that you want to try, and you're doing those things. But you are not. I am not. You are not any of those things. We're everything. And that's what I think is so amazing, especially for our kids and stuff, because I've been thinking about I've been talking a lot with my kids. My son got your daughter Malika Chopra's book for his promotion going into the fifth grade next year, and I thought it was so sweet that Malika did a conversation with them on Zoom, like an assembly for the kids. And she has this beautiful book, y'all. Like it's amazing, and it's for kids. And I've actually been making a process that daily me and my kids read a page. And there's exercises, there's breathing exercises, there's thoughts about like, just actually breathing into your body for 1 minute and realizing that your breath is you, your breath is you, which is so infinite. So, big love to Malika. Please tell her that is so kind.
I hope she's watching us right now. She's probably there.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. And I was just, and one thing about our names just came up in what we've been reading, and how, we identify with our names, we identify with, all of the things, our religions, our backgrounds, our color, our, all the things we identify with, that we're, a part of who we are, or who our parents are, or who we think we're supposed to be, or whatever. And just, I thought it was a beautiful reminder that we can do those things, learn those things, experience those things, but we are actually everything. And
Yeah.
and that's what you're saying. So that person that said resting in myself is very incredible. And I think the person who asked, Konia, I think you asked about when thoughts come in your head as your meditation. It kind of what you're saying, just let it be. That's your thought, that's what it is. Just respect it. Okay, there goes a thought, whatever. Don't attach to it, don't make it a big deal, don't extra think about it. Just kind of come back to your breath, come back to your you. And that's really incredible, man. Oh wow, I love talking to you every time.
As I was listening to you right now, I was remembering that when we first met, yeah, your son was still in your womb. You
Yes.
remember? Still now there he is, a person by himself.
I know.
But resting in the self also gives you clarity that yourself is not your selfie. And this is the big thing that's happening in the world right now. People have sacrificed themselves for their selfies. So,
Whoa. They've sacrificed their self for their selfies? Wait a
yeah,
minute.
this is what it's all about, the culture, right now. It's not about myself, it's about my selfie. Now, as long as we realize that the selfie is fun and engages with other selfies, that's fine. But it's not the self, it's not who we are. Our name, our brand, or whatever, our achievements is not who we are. Who we are is always infinite, and we should always remember that. And that's the goal of these meditations. They're not in a way intellectual, they have to be experiential and go beyond all our human constructs about who we think we are. I am not Deepak Chopra. That is my name. You can find it on LinkedIn. Everything you want to know about that name, you can find it on LinkedIn. If you want to know who I am, then stop judging me and stop judging yourself, and we'll all be free.
Oh my, wait, nah. This is too, listen, this is too amazing. And I think that I love this conversation so much. I hope we have 100 million more. The thing I think that feels so good about knowing that you are not your name, that you're your name, that's just your name. That's not who you are. You are infinite. You know, you are not whatever label. You are who you are. We are infinite. I think that can calm us a lot, and that's what I feel so much by doing the 21-day meditation on the divine feminine. Which, again, make sure you're tuning into it if you haven't yet. A lot of people have asked how to do it. If you missed it, you go to the Chopra app. You right on your phone, download the Chopra app, CHORPA. Today is the last day that you get it for free. It's been free this whole time. It's been so good. And you're loving it. And this is the type of conversation that we're having through this meditation. And I was just saying that to know that you are infinite, I think it gives you a security, because a lot of the times we feel so pressured to be who everybody wants us to be, to live up to whatever expectations we think we have to live up to be wealthy, to be well known, to be whatever. And I think this idea of being infinite, and that we are not our labels, or the names that have been placed on us, or that we even claim, is so comforting to know that there's this excess. That's what you talk about. We talk about this excess that we can access. There is not an end. There is not something that this faucet just turns off. In fact, it gets bigger, and there's more that you get to reach for, and there's more you get to open your mind to and learn about and become. And so you can feel relaxed and comforted that you're just still growing. You know what I mean? And there's not some like finite ending or something that we all think we have to rush the clock against meeting. It's not that. So I don't know, man. This is what. Ooh, my brother OnStar is on. He is full of wisdom. He just said, "Don't be bullied out of your life." You know what I mean? Like to the point where you are not even living your own life because you're so afraid of everything, or you think you're supposed to do something and you're not following and tuning into what is it that what's your direction from here, not from here, not from here, from here. You know, so anyway, as you see, I'm loving this. This is so beautiful. I don't know. Do you have any departing words that you want to share to
Well,
anyone?
you just mentioned rest in peace, and that's the peace that spiritual traditions talk about, the peace that passes understanding. The peace that passes understanding is what meditation is about. And if we rest in that peace, we have nothing to prove because we are infinite and infinite is enough. There's nothing more than infinite as enough. So rest in peace. It's
The
the
thing,
peace that passes understanding.
the last thing that just took me to something that you said in the meditation, which you thank you for those words, every word, all the time. You said when you look in front of you, all there is the infinite. I
That's
mean,
all there is. That's all there is. As all this, as you, as me, as this watch, as this computer, as this Instagram, that's all there is. The infinite in disguise as the finite.
y'all,
We are all the infinite being in different uniforms. This is a uniform.
I need y'all to just, I'm so grateful we could have this time together. Everybody who joined in, who tuned in to this conversation has been touched and blessed. I know for a fact. We all feel a little lighter. We all feel a little closer to our infinite. We all remember more of what we already know. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much for your words that you're sharing with us below. Thank you for continuing to spread the light. Thank you for continuing to learn and grow and be curious and be interested and to have this all perspective idea or this no perspective idea, this thing where we're not having to choose a judgment. We are just open. So don't forget to go ahead, download the Chopra app. This is the last day for the 21-day meditation, the free 21 meditation. It's been free this whole time, so take advantage of something that's going to absolutely fill you up. Thank you so much for all the songs in A minor, love. Thank you so much for all of your memories and letters to me. Thank you for all of the keys, soul care, love, because that is another way to pour into your infinite being and just remind yourself of how we can create the world that we want and create the energy that we want. But most importantly, oh, thank you for your underdog love. The remix is amazing, and everybody keeps talking about it on the chat too. The app is called Chopra, Chopra. That's all you got to do is go for Chopra on your app and download it. Boom, right now. But most importantly, thank you, Deepak, for this mission that you have in life to just continue to be the example of the infinite and be the example of openness and how we're all learning and you're sharing and growing and learning, and for bringing us on these journeys and for making things like this possible so that we can have an access point, because there's all this access, but most of the time we don't even know how to access it. So
Okay, so a lot of people are asking what is the divine feminine after all this conversation.
okay.
So my comment is just look at Alicia Keys. She's the divine feminine, perfect embodiment, and then we're all set. So thank you for being the embodiment, the perfect embodiment of the divine feminine, Alicia. I love you.
I love you too. The divine feminine is all of us. And like we said, in case you missed it, we are undefinable. And we have all these pieces inside of us. And so please go check out the meditation so that you can continue to grow and learn and learn like we all are. This is so fun. Let's make sure we do another one soon because man, my mind is like, let's just say the one last thing. A saint has a past and a sinner has a future.
The saint has a
just let it
past, the
be.
sinner has a future. Let it be.
Just let it be. Oh my gosh,
And
y'all.
let the divine feminine come to me. Mother Mary, come to me.
That's right. So much love. Blessings,
Love to you.
blessings, and talk
Thank,
soon.
thank you,
All right.
Alicia. Take care.
Thank you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We might want to save the recording.
How do you?
Does it ask?
Cancel.
No, we want to end the. We want